Coach obviously came down to the end there. Know how to put the play in terms of defending and things of that nature.
Yeah.
You guys maybe did the last 3-4 minutes.
We just, Jay was unreal with his defense. The ability to get his hands on balls. He did it in the first half with deflections and steals. And then that last steal he got was indicative of how he played defensively all night. We didn't score particularly well to start and end. I mean, first and fourth, 22 points, but we got enough stops to give us a chance. Anytime you can hold a team under 100 points, you feel really good about your defense. And they do some things, I said it before, with zones and switching, and they do it with a purpose. And so it can distort your offense. But I just thought down the stretch, we made plays. A number of steals tonight for fast breaks. I mean, Mikal had a segment where he was getting out. That certainly helped us. And when you don't shoot it as well from three and don't get enough three-point attempts, and that's what the switching does. It typically takes away the three ball. And so our three ball numbers were down tonight as far as attempts and makes. We just had to manufacture, the effort to win a tough game. I mean, they put it on Golden State last night. So we knew that they were going to come in and play well.
He gets it going in that fashion, not only with the transition, but then that seemed to open up everything else for him. And then he started getting even more.
Yeah, just thought Jay and Book tonight, they were phenomenal on defense, just getting over screens and getting hands on balls. But there was a segment where Mikal was able to get some deflections and we recovered, and then he was taken off. It certainly gave us energy. It was, one of those rare moments where the fast break became a weapon for us because it allowed us to set our defense. It got our crowd in the game and forced them to call a timeout one time.
Monty, they'll show that lob to Book,
Yeah.
but for him to jam Kennard in the corner,
Yeah,
break out.
yeah. Like I said, those guys between Jay and all of our guys defended. I mean, if you hold a team under 100, but those three guys in particular, with the matchup that they had with Morris and Jackson and Kennard, and Batum was knocking down shots most of the night. Book knew he had to close out to his feet. And I've said this before, the energy that he has is just uncommon. To be able to do that and then take off down the floor and catch a lob like that, I thought that was a signature play for us. It was our defense manufacturing offense for us.
Felt like one of those games where you look at like potential assists for Devin. Those are going to be really high compared to the assists. Did you like his decision making against the draft?
Yeah, the decision making and just understanding the spacing. There were times where our guys made the right play. We just missed the shot. You can look at the numbers and see from the three, but yeah, I've always said that about Book. He can be aggressive and get his own shot, but he also understands the we score mentality that we've all implemented.
Coach, you value so much the shoot around and not to have one this morning. That play role, maybe certain stretches of the game or
not? No. No, it's when I don't like to get ahead, but I also have to plan. And so when you're thinking about two back-to-backs, we decided to do a combo day the day before. So in essence, we did have a shoot around, and we still had about 9 or 10 guys in the gym this morning. But to your point, there is a rhythm to the day that we're all used to, and sometimes that can affect you. But I just thought we missed shots. We had segments in the game where we were a bit off, but I thought it was them. They're a good defensive team, and they have been since Ty has been there, and even when Doc was there. But Ty has implemented a number of coverages that can throw you off. You come out of a timeout, you don't know what they're going to run, and so you almost have to run 2 plays to figure out are they going to be in zone, are they going to be in switching, are they going to be in a normal coverage. And so I'd give them credit more than anything. But you're right. There are times where you can take away from the production on the floor by messing with the rhythm of the day, but I don't think that messed with us today.
Chris Paul and Devin Booker,
Yeah.
closing moments of their ability to hit shots.
Yeah.
You've got a guy like
McHale that can hit
Yeah.
that corner three, Jay doing what he does on
Yeah.
defense, DA automatic in the paint. Just as a coach, what kind of level of comfort do you have with having guys in
Yeah.
that position that can execute?
Well, I think I keep going back to this. I mean, it's the experience in the bubble gave those guys confidence. And then the experience in the playoffs showed us what we needed to work on. And you have to be willing to take those shots because the good teams are going to take away your first and second option. And when you get to the third and fourth option, you're fighting the clock. And so you don't have time to think about it. You got to be able to take that shot and live with the results. And McHale's, case in point, he's not afraid to take those shots. I don't think he was afraid before, but he hadn't been in those positions enough.
Monty, you mentioned Devin's energy being uncommon. Numbers for you guys in the final 5 minutes of post games, just the shooting numbers especially,
Yeah.
are ridiculous. And it doesn't seem like anyone out there is tired. Does that line up with what you see and what you chalk up?
Well, it's hard to say. I do think the experiences we've had over the past couple of years with this group, with Chris being the point guard, certainly helps us. But Chris and Book aren't afraid to take those shots, and they're not afraid to have the ball in their hands. And when teams double them or run defenses at them, they understand the spacing and where guys are. And then you have guys like Jay and Cam and McHale, and now Torrey, who's willing to take a shot. And DA commands a lot of attention. So I think our past experiences are helping us now. Even the hurt that we felt last year may be helping us now. Probably some other stuff that I'm missing, but we have good players.
DA had a slow start in this.
Yeah.
Before in the first quarter, didn't hold anything. Zubats on the other side almost had a double that first quarter. But if you look at the box score at the end of the game, they ended pretty even.
Yeah.
Did you say anything to DA?
Everybody was just, in those moments, it's not like a guy's trying to miss. I mean, he missed some shots tonight around the basket that he's money on. And so there were times where we thought they were diving too low versus the pick and roll coverage. And sometimes you can dive right into the coverage. And we just talked to them about the short roll, and he started to hit his floater a little bit. But when a guy's missing shots, you typically just encourage him to keep making them. We know it's going to come around because he put the work in.
Lonnie, to your point on Jay, when you were at home, Kevin Young said Jay is probably the smartest player he's ever coached when it comes to understanding schemes on both ends. How much does it help to have like him sort of quarterback, I guess is the word, your defense in those crunch time moments?
Yeah.
Teams are going to get to their stuff and Jay's going to see it.
You have to have guys, in my opinion, that understand your scheme, but also have the ability to make a play. The system hopefully puts guys in a good position, but you don't want your system to limit guys. And so, when you have smart defenders who know what you're trying to do and understand what the opponent is trying to do, they can make plays. Jay, Chris, they typically are calling out the other team sets and they know what's coming. And so that allows for them to make plays. But Jay's been in a number of good programs, and he just, as Kevin said, he's got a high IQ. There are times where I'll talk about a coverage and I'll get input from the guys. And usually I'm talking to Chris and Jay about things that we could or should do on the floor.
Who wanted an all-bench lineup to start the second and fourth quarters tonight? For the first time in a while,
Mhm.
going with Aaron and Torrey. The first half they did pretty well, second half.
Yeah. Same. The first half, I thought they changed the game for us a bit. In the second half, we were in mud. The offense put us in mud. We were missing shots, and they were taking off and getting into transition. It's a work in progress. I mean, two of the guys just got here like 3 or 4 days ago. So they're, trying to play within what we do and understand what we do better. I thought we didn't have as much pressure on the rim. JaVale was popping a little bit, and we talked to him about diving so we can space the floor properly. But I think you have to give those guys confidence. You don't want to put the game in jeopardy, but I don't want to yank guys when they're, not playing as well as they want to. It's not their intention. I think he's all right. it was a physical game, but I think he's okay.
You guys keep asking me. I mean, we just. I know. Yeah. No, we turn it on, and I don't want to make it sound like it's an on and off switch, like we're not trying the rest of the game, but we've been in those situations and we understand how much those little plays and 50-50 balls matter. So, we try to key on to those at the same time as just being sound, like no gambling on defense. Don't try to create nothing crazy on offense. Just play the game how we play it.
Coach was before the game talking about that you should be considered for all defense. You had 3 steals and got after. Don't always get after, but 3 steals were noticeable. And how do you feel about the head coach saying that's something that you should be considered for?
I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, he sees it every day. We do it as a team, so I don't see why not. I mean, if you look in the past of any teams that are in the top of the league, there's a couple guys up there, first, second, third team. And, we all take the challenge. I think you can say our whole starting 5 can be, a part of that or somewhere on a defensive team because, I think that's what separates us from, most of the other teams is, not just doing it sometimes, but doing it consistently.
It seemed like you had a couple of hustle plays early in the game that just didn't quite work out, like you had that steal and
Yeah.
But then, in the final minutes, you hustle back, make that play, hustle down the court, and get the alley. I mean, Is that one of those things where if you do it enough, I mean, good things will happen, ball finds energy, that sort of thing?
Yeah. I mean, just staying sound, like not controlling if you're making or missing shots, but being able to control those little things of, making the hustle plays and taking care of the 50-50 balls and, just executing.
People say you evolved a lot. Do you feel like you've evolved a lot as a pitcher, or do you think you just didn't know?
We were just laughing about this in the locker room, actually. A couple of my teammates have been giving me credit, surprisingly. We just talked about the early days, and I explained to them, when 1 through 5 aren't on the same page, it's kind of hard to defend. And just going through it with young teams and people that are coming into the league for the first game, like the rebuild process, it's hard to have a consistent defense. And, it's a 5 people on a string thing, and including the bench for real too. There's some plays where you can hear a bench that will, correct you really quick, let you know a man cut back door. So defense is a team thing.
Well, when you get that lob towards the end of the game, when you jam Kennard in the corner and then just break out in full sprint, can you speak to the difference that it makes having a team that shares that sprint mentality in transition?
I don't know if Chris wanted to throw that to me. He took a little while to throw it.
I hadn't seen him dunk in a while. Y'all remember the one? Remember the one he missed? What was that? Indiana?
Yeah, a little windmill.
That windmill?
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was.
No, you do get rewarded for that. And everybody's running the floor. You got Mikel ahead of me, you got DeAndre there. I'm the last one. So, if you outrun not just the first or second defender, the third guy that's a little bit back, you usually get a good look.
How good is Jay Crowder's defense down the stretch?
Man, Jay is such a big part of our team. He one of them guys, the stat sheet doesn't always show his value. You know what I mean? The way he fights, the rebounds, the way he make it tough on guys. I mean, Twin hit that tough shot in the corner in the first half, but Jay couldn't play no better defense. You know what I mean? So it's tough to play against that for an entire game. You know what I mean? So Jay, his screening, his making the next pass, what they call them hockey assists. A lot of stuff he does don't always show up.
Chris, you say it always starts on the defensive end, and there's been a lot made about both of your shooting percentages in the clutch, but can you just speak to how that mentality comes through those moments where it's still about getting the stop first? And then...
Yeah, it's cool, man. When you're on really good teams, like the last, 6 minutes of the game is when you really tighten the screws. And I think it was a timeout with maybe like 4:55 left, and Book was in the huddle saying, all right, under 5 minutes, y'all know what time it is. You know what I mean? And I think for us, having the confidence in our defense as well as our offense, to know how important it is to get stops and execute.
Well, Mikel is familiar with Aaron and just said he thinks he fits in perfectly before you played. And we saw tonight just the energy plays for him. What have been both of your guys' impressions of that?
Yeah, I mean, we know that.
Everybody keeps saying we got a holiday. You know what I mean? So you already know what it is. They hoop, play hard, defend, great teammates.
Great teammates, work hard. You know, I've watched them. We worked out in the same gym a couple of summers ago, and just watching him and his two brothers get after it every day. I've always had a lot of respect for them, you know, from a distance. And Aaron coming in here, he fits right in. You know, he's a winner. He makes winning plays. He has a high IQ for the game and plays both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
For both of you guys, just see Mikhail kick in that second half, his transition, that's like, you know, now he's pull up, now everything is going free, is going, what's that like to see when he gets it going in transition, it kind of leads to everything else.
Yeah, I mean, he's running. You know, he's defending, he's getting stops, and you know, it's tough to, you know, defend. You know, when you're in transition, you have 3-4 guys running at you, and Mikhail's the first one down. So you have to keep up with him most of the game.
Chris, is that like going back to your quarterback day, throwing it on a deep route?
Yeah, man, because Kale just always full of energy. You know what I mean? Kale is just, I mean, he's an all-star in my mind. You know, you look at our record and how our team done played, you think, you know, we have a shot at getting 3 guys in. You know what I mean? And I think for him, he shows up every night, every single night, plays hard, competes, and is great when he can get those runouts and get some easy baskets, because that's ways that he can be rewarded for all the little things he does.
Look, I don't know if you,
Quarterback?
Yeah, I played that.
I don't know if you think about this a lot anymore, but this is your first full season in Phoenix with a full stadium and this kind of team with sellouts every single night. You still feed off that energy every single night where these guys just put full belief off it?
No question.
Every night.
No question. And I done played in the league for a long time. Not too many teams. When you run out for warmups, the fans are already in the seats. You know what I mean? And the energy is contagious, man, because we got a fun team too, an exciting team. You ought to see, we got so many pregame routines that we do, and to hear the crowd like excited, you know, it gets us going, and it's a great fan base and a great city to play in.
The Treyway, I just get so boosted. Going to the teammates, you know, those are my guys, but I always look at the bench when I score and stuff, like our own bench. I think that's just from Nova. You know, Coach Wright never liked when we celebrated and danced around, especially to the crowd. Like, he always told us to give your energy to your teammates. So I'm still not comfortable like doing something and looking at the crowd. I always like look at my bench and start going crazy. So now I could have a little more freedom. So I'll do all my little funny stuff, but to the bench. Yeah.
Steals and you hit that shot in the corner. What is about your execution down the stretch that helps you have that?
Just the guys out there, man. And I don't know how much I keep saying it, but I appreciate Nana so much, man. Just to be out there and like, you know, everybody wants to score, everyone wants to shoot, you know, taking 5 shots. And this has been a couple of games where he, you know, I think the other game he didn't score or anything, but he had like 12 boards, but he's doing everything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the box score, you got to watch the game, and I appreciate everything he do. So I just want to shout him out on that. But it's just having guys like Booker, CP, you know, and Mont, and trusting the guys and everybody else around them being ready, because you throw that ball up, you got DA down there, and nobody's going to go get that. So we're just all ready, man. We all play for each other, and we just we lock in.
Monty was talking about, you know, your confidence in those situations, how last year you weren't afraid to take those shots, but you had never been in like playoff situations like that before.
Yeah.
So what's it like playing on a team that, you know, has 2 really good closers with Chris and Devin, but believes in you and shares the rock to everybody on this team?
Yeah, man. Those guys, man, for them to just be confident, have confidence in me and everybody else out there to, you know, give up a shot for somebody else, man, that builds me up, you know. And they do it not just to me, they'll give DAJ, Cam, everybody. And all that does is just give confidence to everybody else. So it's just dope that we have 2 unselfish guys who can go get a bucket whenever they want. And even in crunch time, still go make a play and still, besides forcing a shot, will find you. And that's just, that's rare. And I'm just happy to have those guys on my team.
Mikhail, when Book got that, when he jammed up on Kennard and then ran out for the lob, like he was in a full sprint. Can you talk about how being a team in transition, how much it helps to have that? Every team has the turn and sprint mentality, but all of you guys do it. And can you just talk about how much that helps a team in transition when you know a guy is going to fill a lane?
Because I think any of us, when we're out like that, any of us will throw a lob. 9-9 if I sprint, 9-9 will throw me a lob. Book will throw me a lob. CP will throw me a lob. If Dave was pushing it, he would throw me a lob. So we just all sprint. You know, we all sprint and we know they're going to find you. And I didn't even see Book. I was just sprinting so hard, just trying to run with C. And I thought C was going to take a layup. So I was like, okay, C's about to go take a layup. And I know where he threw a lob. I look, I see Book just flying. So, man, that's just, you know, that's our defense, getting our defense, and we're just gone.
What's the one thing defensively you picked up from Jay since becoming?
Being physical, knowing when to be physical, and at times, and then just playing the game. You know, he's so smart, and even the shot just with Morris hit at one time, just tough, but playing that perfect, knowing the shot clock, knowing like the press up but still lock in. I learned a lot from Jay, man. He's just one of my favorite vets I've ever had, and that's my guy.
Yeah, when you're turning toward the bench after and kind of celebrating any one of your baskets, are you more hyping yourself up or everyone else?
Oh no, my guys, they got me hyped, man. I can hear it behind me, man. I gotta watch the video. I think Ish was the one that picked me up too. I'm just strong behind. But they get me boosted, man. I want to hit that just so I could just turn and just be crazy right in front of them, man. And I was right in the corner, and I just want to see the clip. I know they were all yelling. I see Payne, I see Aaron on the team. He's already hyped up. Everybody. So it's just fun, man. It's just fun when you play on a team like this, and it's amazing.
You told us Aaron would fit in perfectly, and he's just been out there in this game, just making energy plays all over the place. What did you see from him tonight?
I dapped him out at the end of the game, bro. I'm like, he's hooping. You know, it's tough, you know, to come from a different team, but he fits right in, picking up full. I keep telling the bench, I'm like, yeah, we got a holiday on our team, man. Them boys be guarding. So he's just picking up full, disrupting the game. Having him and EP out there is just disrupting everything defensively is just great. And on the other end, he can do everything he wants, float, jump shot, finish. Like, he's just a complete player, and just, you know, happy he's on our team.
Yeah, how much of the bench did you want to see be your energy?
Oh, man, they're always my energy, man. Them boys always get me boosted up. They get me all hyped up. I be just waiting to score just to look at them and get all hyped up. It gets me going. And, man, I appreciate every single one of them guys.
It just seems so ironic that you hit your corner three in front of him.
Yeah, and like I said, Ish picked me up, bro. I'm going to talk to him about that one and make me feel a little light over here, man. I know he's strong. I got some weight too, but felt my legs go up in the air, bro. I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. Ish, bro. I'm gonna see him soon though.
Would you call him football?
Yeah, football. That's my boy. I appreciate y'all, bro. I gotta see that video, bro. I know it was Ish.